Hey, what's up? Travel Chronicles, chapter 96, 97, somewhere around there. A little bit different setup. Got the cup holder, camera holder up, so it's a little slick today. But today is supposed to be the day of the big announcement, and because of the weather, they've gone to full remote learning. So I don't know if they're going to make the announcement or not, but here is, because I'm not going to have this up today probably, but the announcement is that Elijah got Validictorian first class. So it is, super proud as a dad, really happy for him. It's a huge accomplishment. I was second in my class, and we had 40 some kids in it, and I always, the more kids you add, how far does that knock you down? You think about that, but here's this kid that's in a class of 100 and some, like 100, 105 or 110. Like it's not much over 100, I don't think. And he ends up getting first in his class. And I thought coming in, I knew he was in the top 3, right? And there was a chance he could get second. But I think because of the pandemic, the way it's worked out, and the 2 kids in front of him are doing like college, secondary, post-secondary type stuff, that they actually ended up working against them as far as their high school GPAs and stuff. So I mean, that's what you go by. So yeah, he's going to be valedictorian. The one kid that's in his class may be a neurosurgeon. That's going to be like right behind him. But all you can do is the best you can do in whatever situation you're in. That's all. I mean, you can't try to dictate other people's effort, other people's knowledge. You can't do it. All you can do is worry about yourself. And the effort that he's put in, his ability has got him to first place in his class. And regardless of how this worked out or that worked out, he's managed to stick with it through the last year and a half. Well, really like the last year of school, I guess, better than anybody else. And it worked out for him. So I'm happy. I'm happy for him. Obviously, it's a tremendous honor. I'm grateful to everybody who has coached him, taught him, been different administrators at the school, or families, just our neighbors even, because they've been real encouraging. But anybody that sends something positive to him, that has allowed him to get to this point. And I'm not a huge, look at what my kid did, look at their report card, and look at the, they made it to the academic bank. Like, I mean, we celebrate that stuff. We just don't do it on social media. Like trust me, like every report card, there was something waiting for them, especially the better they did. And I wish I could do something else for him, buy him a car or something like that. I mean, he really does deserve it, but we just don't have the financial situation to be able to support that. One thing that's taken to do this has been a lot of sacrifice on our side, because we have always valued the academics. It's always been important for us to be involved. And when I say us, I mean mostly Dina. you know, early on we went to the parent-teacher conferences. You know, they always had positive things to say about him. You know, and we weren't worried about anything that he was doing in school or anything like that. We just wanted to show, you know, that we thought it was important. You know, his education was important, and we wanted to talk to the teacher, and you know, just let them see us, and if there was an issue at all, then you know they could call us. But you know, he's kept his nose clean. He's done everything well, and no teacher has ever called us with an issue about him doing something to another student or not doing his work or anything like that. So, you know, it was important for us to be involved, and for, you know, those teachers and administrators to know that if something did happen, they could get a hold of us. But you know, we weren't going to let him be a problem student either. And you know, I think that's been important. But also, you know, Dina has she's driven him to school, picked him up. You know, either him or she's picked him up, or her parents, or she's had, you know, somebody pick him up from school. You know, so they've never missed because of, you know, oh well, we didn't make it to the bus today, sorry, you know, that was your one shot, now you're gonna have to stay at home and do something. No, it's, you're going to school, you know, whenever you could. The last year's been kind of crazy with the remote stuff. I'm not a fan of it at all, but you know, I understand, like, it's a government-run function, so they're not going to put themselves at risk or have people come back on them, so they're going to be as cautious as possible. And any teacher that is like, you know, I don't want COVID, you know, what are you doing to protect me? They're gonna take those steps. So it's just, I don't think it's great for the kids. I don't think it has been. You'll have a couple of kids succeed. You know, like I said, it's been all right for Elijah, but how many kids have dropped, you know, a lot of spots because they don't have the help at home. They don't have the attention at home. You know, not only is she taking him to school, but she's making sure that he's fed, right? He's getting a good food. He's getting a good lunch. He's got a good dinner waiting for him at home. You know, and we have those sit-down dinners. We sit around the table. We talk. There hasn't been a whole lot of problems. I mean, I remember when he was in elementary school, you know, we thought there was going to be a problem because he would pull his hair out. He would sit there while he was either taking a test or doing something, and he would end up pulling hair out of his head. And I had a talk with him. I don't know if any of that resonated with him or stayed with him or not, but I was just like, I took him out and I showed him the garden hose, and I said, if you don't have any focus or anything, the water just comes out and bubbles out and doesn't do anything. I was like, and then you can have so much pressure on the end of it that the water's just squirting out in every direction. It still doesn't have focus, but now the effort's so spread out that it's not beneficial for anything. You can't do anything with this. So if you take that much pressure off, you put just a little bit of pressure on, now you can direct a stream of water a great distance. You know, a little bit of pressure is not a bad thing. It's not. Too much pressure is. You can't put too much pressure on yourself. And that was one of my first father-son talks, I guess, or parent-child talks, to try to actually help my kid. And, you know, hopefully it pays off. You know, we've had the talks about drugs and alcohol and stuff too. You know, until you really have it shoved in your face by people that you're friends with, you know, I don't know how you're going to handle it. But, you know, to me, alcohol, drugs, nothing good in my life ever came from those, and I've never seen anything good come out of anybody else's life from doing them. I just have completely just skipped them, just bypassed them. So, I hope he does, but he's got to make his own decisions. Having a beer every now and then is not the end of the world. I just hate beer. Like, I hate the taste of it. I don't like whiskey or anything like that. There are some alcohols that don't taste too bad, but it's not something like I'm going out of my way to get, because I don't like the feeling of not being in control. I'm a control freak, so I gotta be able to control all parts of my body and my mind at all times. I'd rather have that than shut it all down, and just be a slobbering mess. But anyway, so happy about the valedictorian thing. We're out of quarantine now, so Faith can go back to basketball. The OHSAA put an extra couple of days on the quarantine for her, to keep her away from her team. She could still go back to school, but she couldn't play on a sport for 2 weeks after my diagnosis. So just complete and utter ridiculousness. After the COVID, last week, the last half of the week was my first week back doing anything really at full speed, and it was I won't say it took a toll, but when you do nothing for 10 days and then you come back and you try to hit it hard, like Saturday was rough because that was basketball day. Got down there before 8 o'clock. Everything was set up. The table still needed set up, some other little stuff, but after that it was good to go. So it took a toll on me. So yesterday I just tried to rest, and then we got basketball today, tomorrow, and then we'll get 3 days off of that. But I tried to run a little bit last week too, so I was really tired yesterday. But I don't think it was the COVID. I don't think the COVID took it out of me. I think it's just lack of activity and then trying to do a bunch of stuff in 4 days. Probably not the best idea, the best path forward. To get some wings, to try some blazing wings. Actually, I just dipped the sauce and put it on my tongue, and it took a while, right? Like the burning sensation was not there immediately, but then it eventually settled into the back of my tongue and in my throat, and it was there. So progress, right? Then Elijah came home and ate the 4 blazing wings that I'd ordered, which I hadn't touched them. Faith and I both tried the hot sauce. It's hot. It is hot. But he drank like a half a bottle of ranch and the rest of the milk just to get the burning taste out of his mouth. So, did I mention he was valedictorian of his class? I don't know. He's smart. Yeah, he's smart, but he does some stuff that makes you just shake your head. But I think all kids are like that. I know enough now that I know there are certain things I do not want to put my body through, externally or internally. And eating some blazing wings was one of them. Oh, I could get it. Oh, I could choke them down. Drink a half a gallon of milk or whatever, but it's like, why do that? Why do that? Like, I don't mind spicy food as long as it has a good flavor to it, but I'm not into spicy stuff just to burn the crap out of my mouth and see how much I can take. I'm not into that at all. All right, well, that was my good news for today. Like I said, I don't know if it'll get announced or not. Dina's got to beat me on Facebook to an announcement, so I'm going to maybe type something up, a little draft, and then as soon as I get the word, I'll send her out. They were going to make the announcement at school today because everybody's supposed to be back, and now that won't happen. So, all right, well, drag or something. I got to get around this truck. It's the road next down here, and I hate following a semi down through the plants. It's not ideal. But here we go, another week. Oh, one other thing, the football conference championship games. It's so funny. Like last week, the Browns lost to Kansas City, and you had Andy Reid sitting there, 4th and inches, willing to throw a pass in a shotgun to not let the other team get the ball back when all they need is a touchdown, and that would have given them, essentially 30, 40 yards. But, if you make it, you win the game. So, his thought process, decision process is clear. Like, I am not letting the other team get the ball back. I want to control as much as I can control. I'm going to keep as much as I can in my hands. Well, this weekend, you got 2 young coaches going against 2 older coaches, right? And the young coach for Buffalo is going against Kansas City, and instead of going for it, on 4th down inside the 10-yard line twice, they kicked field goals. I think they ended up losing by 14, but it was just that lack of aggression early ended up costing them a chance late to be able to tie or go ahead. In the Green Bay Tampa Bay game, it was less about what Tampa Bay had done to like take chances and push the limit on 4th down. Like Green Bay made some bad mistakes, but rather than, and I'm not even saying they should have went for the touchdown, they were down 8 points. So you need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, right? There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong in that stuff. So they get down. I think there's like 2 minutes and 10 seconds left or so, somewhere around there. It's 4th down inside the 10. I think it's 4th and 8. It's a little bit of a distance there. This isn't a gimme. And I think they just thrown like 2 incomplete passes or something like that. Maybe 3. They might have started at the 8. And you go, yeah, one more time. All right, he's not going to miss 4 in a row. But at the same time, Tampa Bay has played really good inside the 10-yard line. You kick the field goal, now the 2-point conversion's not necessary. You just go down, you get a touchdown, you win the game. But after they kick the field goal, instead of going for the onside kick, they kicked it deep. Now, yeah, there's enough time if you stop them from getting 10 yards where you can get the ball back and have a chance after you use all your timeouts. But Tampa Bay is not trying to score anymore. Like, they don't need another touchdown. They don't need a field goal. All they need is 10 yards. So why not just do the onside kick? Give yourself a chance. Something crazy happens. Give yourself a chance. And maybe get the ball back with 2 minutes to go and all 3 of your timeouts. Then you're in a much better spot. And now you're committed to going for it every time it's on 4th down, which is fine. But they kicked it away, and then, you're counting on Tom Brady not getting 10 yards in 4 plays. And he did, and then the game was over. So, just a complete miscalculation on their part. But they're 2 young coaches, and, we got to be safe. We got to err on the side of caution. And, unfortunately, that's not how you win. And when you go against veteran coaches, veteran players on the other side, they're willing to exploit your conservative nature. And, that's what happened in both of those games. And it's a little bit of what happened in the Cleveland versus Kansas City game. Rather than, trying to go for it, kick the ball away, and then you end up letting a guy run for 14 yards on 3rd and 15, and then they get a chance to get the first down because they go for it on 4th down. The younger you are, the more you got to look at those in-game situations to see what really is the right call. And you got to be willing to, hey, if we make one play, we win the game. That's all you can ask for in a game, in a situation. Not, all right, we're going to make the conservative play. Now we got to do 13 things right to win. Let's do one. Even if it puts us in a bad situation, it's going to make it a lot harder. Let's go for it. You got to have a little bit of that mentality to win a championship. Unless you're just blowing people out. All right, that's all I got. Be careful. Be COVID-free. See you later.